One unexpected bill can ruin your entire month. I know that sounds dramatic, but if you have ever looked at a bill and thought, how am I supposed to pay this? Then you know exactly what I mean. It is not always some huge disaster. Sometimes it is just a car repair, a medical bill, a higher electric bill, a forgotten payment. Something breaks, something renews, something costs more than you expected. And suddenly, the month you thought was under control is not under control anymore. That happened to me. I used to think emergencies were rare. I thought an emergency had to be something huge, something dramatic, something that almost never happens. But then I realized something. Normal life creates emergencies all the time when you have no money ready for them. A flat tire is not supposed to destroy your month. A small repair is not supposed to send you into panic. A bill being higher than expected should be annoying, not terrifying. But when you have nothing saved, even a small problem feels huge. That was the part one did not understand at first. I thought my problem was that I needed to make more money. And maybe sometimes that is true. But the deeper problem was this. I had no space between me and the next surprise. Every dollar had a job before it arrived. Rent, food, bills, credit card, subscriptions, gas, random things I forgot about. So when something unexpected happened, there was nowhere for it to go, except the credit card. And at first, the credit card felt like help. The car needed something? Put it on the card. The bill was higher than expected? Put it on the card. I did not have enough cash? Put it on the card. And for a moment, it felt like the problem was solved. But it was not solved. It was moved. Moved from today to next month. And next month already had problems waiting for me too. That is how one emergency becomes a cycle. The emergency happens. You use the card. The card balance grows. The minimum payment gets bigger. Your next paycheck gets tighter. Then another surprise happens. And because your paycheck is already tight, you use the card again. And little by little, the emergency stops being a one-time problem. It becomes part of your monthly life. That is when I started feeling like I could never catch up. Not because I was buying crazy things. Not because I was trying to live some luxury lifestyle. But because every surprise pushed me backward, and I had no cushion to absorb it. That word changed everything for me. Cushion. Not wealth. Not riches. Not some perfect financial life. Just a cushion. A little space. A small amount of money between a problem and a crisis. Because that is what emergency savings really is. It is not money sitting there doing nothing. It is money standing between you and panic. At first, I did not see it that way. When I had money sitting in savings, I felt tempted to use it. I would think, well, it is just sitting there. But now I understand. That is the point. It is supposed to sit there. It is supposed to be boring. It is supposed to wait quietly until real life gets messy. Because real life always gets messy. The car does not ask if it is a good month to break. The bill does not ask if your budget is ready. The emergency does not care if payday is next week. It just shows up. And if you do not have money ready, the emergency makes the decision for you. That is why even a small emergency fund can change how life feels. $200 saved does not fix everything, but it can stop one small problem from becoming debt. $500 saved does not make you rich, but it can make a bad week feel less impossible. $1,000 saved does not mean nothing bad will happen. It just means not every bad thing has to become panic. That is what I wanted. I did not want to become rich overnight. I just wanted to stop feeling scared every time something unexpected happened. So I started treating emergency savings differently. I stopped calling it extra money. I stopped seeing it as money I could spend later. I gave it a job. Emergency cushion. That was the name. And once the money had a name, it became easier to protect. Coffee was not an emergency. A sale was not an emergency. A random online purchase was not an emergency. Feeling bored was not an emergency. But a real problem that protected my work, my health, my home, or my basic stability. That was different. That was what the money was for. And the first time I had to use it, I hated it. I had finally saved a little. Then something happened. The money went down. And my first thought was, I failed. But I did not fail. The money did its job. That was the whole reason it existed. Without it, the problem would have gone on the credit card. Then it would have followed me into next month. Then maybe interest. Then more stress. But because I had some money saved, the problem stayed smaller. That was when I understood the real lesson. Emergency savings is not about avoiding problems. Problems still happen. It is about making sure every problem does not become a financial disaster. And that takes pressure off your life. Not all the pressure, but enough to breathe. enough to think clearly, enough to make better decisions. Because panic is expensive. When you are panicking, you just grab the fastest option. The credit card, the loan, the payment plan, the thing that solves today but makes tomorrow harder. But when you have a cushion, even a small one, you get a little time. And time helps you think. That is why one emergency can ruin your month. Not because the emergency is always huge, but because without a cushion, small problems have nowhere to land. So they land on debt. They land on stress. They land on next month's paycheck. And next month, you are already behind before you even begin. I do not want that cycle anymore. So now, when I save money, I remind myself what it is really doing. It is not just sitting there. It is protecting my future paycheck. It is protecting my peace. It is protecting me from turning every surprise into debt. And no, I am not perfect at this. Sometimes I still get frustrated. Sometimes I still wish the money could grow faster. Sometimes I still hate using savings after I worked hard to build it. But now I know that rebuilding is part of the process. Use it for a real emergency. Then rebuild. Use it when life happens. Then rebuild. That is not failure. That is stability being built. Slowly, quietly, for real. So if one emergency has ever ruined your month, I want you to know this. You are not the only one. And you are not broken. You may just need a cushion between you and the next surprise. Start small. $10, $20, $50, whatever you can protect. The amount matters less than the direction. Because the first goal is not to look rich. The first goal is to stop every surprise from knocking you back to zero. And once you feel that difference, even a little bit, money starts to feel less chaotic. Not easy, but less chaotic. And sometimes, that is the first real win. If this made money feel a little less stressful, subscribe to Money Made Simple. Leave a like so this video can reach more people who are trying to figure this out too. And comment below. What kind of emergency usually ruins your month? Car problems, bills, medical costs, or something else? I'm Finn Parker, and here on Money Made Simple, we figure out money in plain English, one simple lesson at a time.